Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the book of 2 Chronicles. We're in chapter 33. It is Manasseh, king of Judah. This is the son of King Hezekiah. Another boy king. This one is at least slightly older. The last one was 7. Right? So Manasseh was 12 years old when he became king. He reigned in Jerusalem 55 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord. So just because it was a long reign does not mean they did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. Following the detestable practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before the Israelites, he rebuilt the high places his father Hezekiah had demolished. He also erected altars to the Baals and made Asherah poles. He bowed down to all the starry hosts, so that's all the planetary bodies, okay, and worshipped them. Right? He built altars to the temple of the Lord, of which the Lord had said, "My name will remain in Jerusalem forever." In both courts of the temple of the Lord, he built altars to all the starry hosts. Inside the temple of the Lord, he built pagan shrines to things not God. Okay? So, yeah. He sacrificed his sons in footnote of B, or made his sons pass through the fire in the valley of Ben Hinnom. So he sacrificed his own children by setting them on fire. Practiced sorcery, divination, and witchcraft, and consulted mediums and spiritists. He did much evil in the eyes of the Lord, provoking him to anger. He took the carved image he made and put it in the temple, in God's temple, of which the God had said to David and his son Solomon, "In this temple and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever. I will not again make the feet of the Israelites leave the land I assigned your forefathers, if only they will be careful to do everything I commanded them concerning all the laws, decrees, and ordinances given through Moses." But Manasseh led Judah and the people of Jerusalem astray, so that they did more evil than the nations of the Lord had destroyed before Israelites. So they got creative in their evil and started coming up with more stuff. Like, oh, that's not far enough. Let's be more wicked. So, okay. Wow. The Lord spoke to Manasseh and his people, but they paid no attention. So the Lord brought against them the army commanders of the king of Assyria, who took Manasseh prisoner, put a hook in his nose, wow, bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon. In his distress, he sought the favor of the Lord his God and humbled himself greatly before God, the God of his fathers. And when he prayed to him, the Lord moved by his entreaty and listened to his plea, so that he brought him back to Jerusalem and to his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord is God. Okay? Afterward, he rebuilt the outer wall of the city of David, west of the Gihon spring in the valley, as far as the entrance of the fish gate, and encircling the hill of Ophel, Ophel. He also made it much higher. He stationed military commanders in the fortified cities in Judah. He got rid of the foreign gods and removed the image from the temple of the Lord, as well as all the altars he had built on the Temple Hill and in Jerusalem. He threw them out of the city. This feels very much like, okay, God, I promise if you bring me back to Jerusalem, I will do the following things. Until God said, okay, now we're talking. Then he restored the altar of the Lord and sacrificed fellowship offerings, traditionally called peace offerings, and thank offerings on it, and told Judah to serve the Lord, the God of Israel. The people, however, continued to sacrifice at the high places. He couldn't undo what he did. But only the Lord, but only to the Lord their God. Okay, so they sacrificed at the high places, but only to God. Not, though, at the temple where they were ordered to. Not just at the temple, I should say. The other events of Manasseh's reign, including his prayer to his God and the words the seer spoke to him in the name of the Lord, the God of Israel, are written in the annals of the king of Israel. That is Judah, and that's how it's frequently called in 2 Chronicles. His prayers and how God was moved by his entreaty, as well as all his sins and unfaithfulness, and the sites where he built high places and set up Asherah poles and idols before he humbled themselves, are all written in the records of the seers. One Hebrew manuscript, the Septuagint, that's Greek, Hosea, Hozai. Manasseh rested with his fathers and was buried in his palace. And Amon, Amon, his son, succeeded him as king. Amon, king of Judah. Amnon was 22 years old when he became king. He reigned in Jerusalem 2 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, as his father Manasseh had done. Amnon worshipped and offered sacrifices to all the idols Manasseh had made. But unlike his father Manasseh, he did not humble himself before the Lord. Amnon increased his guilt. Amnon's officials conspired against him and assassinated him in his palace. Then the people of the land killed all who had plotted against King Amnon, and they made Josiah, his son, his king in his place. So, Josiah, the next boy king, 8 years old. Okay, so another boy king. You will, the next video will be about Josiah, the boy king. So, in fact, the next 2 videos will be about Josiah, the boy king, as we watch him grow out of boyhood. If you want to hear about that, you're going to need to come back for the next video, friends.